Have you ever believed someone loved you so deeply, so faithfully, that it never even crossed your mind to doubt them? That was me. Until one night shattered everything. I hadn't planned on leaving the house that evening. In fact, I'd already told my wife, Leah, that I'd be staying in. Just a quiet night. Maybe I'd watch that documentary she kept saying was boring, maybe reply to some overdue emails. She was out with her friends for what she called a simple girls' night. Wine, old songs, silly games, nothing fancy. Just a few of us laughing and drinking too much, she'd said, smiling as she kissed me goodbye. And I believed her. So when my phone buzzed at exactly 10:36 p.m. and her name appeared on the screen, I thought nothing of it. I figured it was a check-in. Maybe a tipsy selfie with her best friend Jenna. But when I opened it, my heart stopped. Your hand on my waist still lingers. Maybe we pick up where we left off tonight. I stared at it, confused at first. My immediate thought. She'd sent it to the wrong person. But the longer I stared, the more my stomach dropped. No emojis. No playful tone. No accidental typos. It was intentional. Intimate. Not meant for me. I didn't respond. Didn't call. I just sat there, staring at those words until the walls around me felt like they were caving in. I got up and started pacing through the house. Our house. The one we spent years building together. I could still see the paint swatches we'd argued over for the living room walls. The kitchen where we slow danced while cooking. The back porch where I'd proposed. Her hands trembling, eyes wide, swearing she'd never hurt me. But she had. Across town, she was whispering warmth and promises to another man. I sat back down, staring at the message again. I didn't want to scream or call her in rage. I wasn't going to fight through a phone screen. That message said everything. But I wasn't going to sit quietly either. That's when I remembered something. A month ago, Jenna had casually invited me to this same party. "Swing by if you want," she'd said, laughing. "Though I promise you'll regret it. Just us loud girls making margaritas and embarrassing ourselves with 90s karaoke." At the time we laughed about it. I declined. But now I had a reason to show up. And I had something to say. I found the old karaoke speaker we kept in the garage, the same one we used at holiday parties. I charged it up, grabbed the wireless mic and connected my phone. My hands didn't shake. This wasn't about revenge or theatrics. I just wanted the truth heard. By the time I arrived, I could hear music spilling from the backyard. Laughter, high-pitched giggles, the splash of feet dipping into the pool. I didn't knock. I walked through the side gate like I belonged there. Nobody noticed at first. Not until I cut the music off. Harsh feedback filling the air. Heads turned. And then I saw her. Leah. Drink in hand. Standing way too close to a man I barely recognized at first. But the way his hand brushed her lower back. The way she leaned in. He knew. I lifted the mic. "I won't take much of your time," I said calmly, watching every eye shift toward me. "You all know my wife. You've seen her smile, heard her laugh, admired her charm. But tonight, I thought you should hear something else." Gasps rippled through the group. Her drink lowered an inch. Without hesitation I tapped my phone. And let my voice, steady and unshaking, read her message through the speaker. "Your hand on my waist still lingers. Maybe we pick up where we left off tonight." Silence. The kind that sucks the air out of a room. And then, like a spark in dry grass, I heard Jenna's voice, sharp and loud. Wait, was that meant for Daniel? The name dropped like a grenade. Daniel, the man standing beside my wife. Daniel, who was married to someone else. The betrayal wasn't just between Leah and me anymore. Spread. Ripping through the group like wildfire. I didn't look at her. I looked at him, Daniel. His face drained of color. I shut off the mic, set it gently on the patio table, and finally, looked into Leah's eyes. No words. No anger. Just quiet disappointment. Then I turned and walked out. No one stopped me. No one followed. The drive home felt surreal. No music. No distractions. Just the crushing weight of everything collapsing. But strangely, I didn't regret what I'd done. This wasn't about humiliating her. It was about truth. Pure, brutal clarity. I walked inside. Left the speaker in the car. Milo, our dog, barely stirred. He just watched me, his tail thumping once like he knew. I sat next to him, staring at the darkened room. Our wedding photo still hung above the fireplace. I used to love that photo. Now it mocked me. My phone buzzed. One message. Then another. Then 5. All from her. Where are you? Please answer. We need to talk. Why would you do that? Please come back. I didn't reply. I flipped the phone face down, walked to the guest room, and collapsed on the bed. I didn't want her apologies. I just wanted quiet. Barely slept. Memories and betrayal blurred together. Our honeymoon, lazy Sundays, movie nights, interrupted by that message flashing over and over. By morning I heard her downstairs. Coffee brewing. Muffled crying. I almost stayed upstairs. But something made me go down. She sat at the kitchen table, eyes swollen, wearing my old hoodie like a shield. She opened her mouth. I raised my hand. Don't, I said softly. Not yet. She nodded, tears falling silently. After what felt like forever, she finally whispered, I didn't mean to send that to you. I laughed. Quiet, bitter. I know. It was stupid. Just flirting. It didn't mean anything. Didn't mean anything. I repeated, leaning back. Then who was it for? Her face turned pale. Daniel, I answered for her. Her silence was all the confirmation I needed. Tears spilled again, but I stayed cold. You embarrassed me, she whispered. No, I said calmly. You embarrassed yourself. I just made sure everyone heard you clearly. She crumbled, burying her face in her hands. You could have talked to me privately. And you could have stayed faithful privately. Silence followed. But it wasn't an awkward silence. It was the sound of something dying. That day passed in a fog. We barely spoke. I stayed on the porch with Milo. She stayed inside, crying into her coffee. We were strangers in the same house. That night I got a text from Jenna. 5 words. She's not who you think. I stared at it, heart pounding. What do you mean? I replied. No response. Later that night, I noticed her phone left unlocked on the counter. I didn't mean to look. But after everything else, I needed to know. Opened it. There it was. Thread after thread with Daniel. Flirting at first. And more. You looked amazing the other night. Your laugh makes my day. If only things were different. That dress should be illegal. My hands still remember your waist. Her reply. The message that shattered us. She walked in, seeing me with her phone. I wasn't going to hide it anymore, she said quietly. He nodded. That would have been nice months ago. I walked outside, unable to breathe. She followed, standing next to me in the fading light. Neither of us spoke. There was nothing left to say. We stood in silence, staring at the ruins of our life. In the days that followed, we barely spoke. We lived like ghosts in the same house. One night she cooked my favorite meal. I ate it in silence. She asked me to go to counseling. I told her I'd think about it. Later that night I got a message from Amanda, another friend of hers. I heard what happened. You were brave. She's been playing with fire for months. The truth kept unraveling. I realized I hadn't been blind. Chosen not to see. On the 4th morning I found her crying again, this time holding a photo of us from a trip to Maine. I want to grow old with you, she'd said back then. Now it sounded like a lie from a stranger. I stood there watching her break. Finally I said, I'll go. She looked up confused. To the session, I clarified. Her eyes flooded with relief. That night, while putting boxes in the attic, I found an old notebook of hers, tucked away under Christmas decorations. I shouldn't have opened it. But after everything else, curiosity wasn't something I could resist anymore. Inside were pages and pages of handwritten thoughts, raw confessions, hidden desires, and dark truths she'd never dared speak aloud. And in those pages was a secret I never expected.